This is Star Radio UK.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
He's been seen as their leader, and he's lacing his boots to contest national elections.
Yeah.
So he has not been invited. I just hope something good comes of it. And that's what the other time when I was talking to Dr. Akwanga and the others in Ambazonia issue. One thing that worries me, and I was telling them openly, and when you look across Africa, every struggle for liberation and other things has been manned one way or has been harmed in one way or the other by splinter groups. Because at the end of the day, should they decide that today we are granting independence, who do they talk to? Who represent them? If you are not able to form a united front, it becomes a problem. You realize that everything that you fought for now, you begin to turn the guns against your brothers. So the question we ask is, what is the value of it? And actually, that's a problem. Listeners, we might be going to South Africa directly to speak to Dr. Akwanga pretty shortly.
Okay.
We'll see if we can get him, because yesterday I think they held a very big event over there. We'll see if we can get him. So actually, those are the issues.
Wow. Okay, yes, but we're still waiting for your thoughts about the Rwanda sponsorship of Arsenal to promote their tourist industry. Do you think it's a worthwhile venture? We will be looking at that in a jiffy. We take a quick musical break and then we'll come your way with. We're doing our best to see if we can get Dr. Akwanga online. So just stay tuned and don't touch the dial.
This is Star Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK.
Okay, listeners, this is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 12:05, and we have no other person than Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga, who is the leader of the Ambazonians, as far as I'm concerned. Let me just say that. Doctor, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, we are doing very well here. And you?
Well, I just feel a little bit tired. Good morning to each and every one of your audience, those who are listening to us.
Okay, that's wonderful. Now, we know that you're very tired because you had a very busy schedule yesterday. But just a quick one. What actually took place there in South Africa?
Yesterday was the 23rd anniversary of the Southern Cameroon's Youth League, which actually I spearheaded and founded in 1995. And also the 23rd anniversary of the Southern Cameroon's Defense Force, the first existing self-defense force for the people of Ambazonia since 1995. So I came to South Africa yesterday alongside my people to deliver a petition, a memorandum to the government, to the government of South Africa through the African National Congress, which is the party in power. I came to deliver that memorandum because the ANC has a moral responsibility to stand side by side the people of Ambazonia for what is happening to us. As I told the representative of the Secretary General, the Assistant Secretary General, representative of the Secretary General, who came to collect the memorandum yesterday, because the Secretary General was supposed to pick it up himself, but some political killings took place at KwaZulu-Natal, which necessitated an urgent meeting. So the Secretary General has to move with some other officials of the National Committee of the ANC to meet the president for a meeting. So they were busy, and because of that, I was supposed to hand over the memorandum at 12:30 as agreed, but they called and said they will be happy if we can hand it over at 10:30 so that they can move and join the rest for the meeting, and they will definitely deliberate on the memorandum. So I came here to hand that memorandum and to inform this African National Congress that they have a moral responsibility to stand side by side the people of Ambazonia and all other peoples who are struggling because of their own recent history, and that it is a responsibility to do that. Let them not forget, the African National Congress is the name of the party. It's not called the South African National Congress or the Mzansi National Congress. That means as long as Ambazonia is not free, apartheid is not yet over. So the ANC has a moral responsibility. That is what counts first. Anything that has to do with legitimacy and legality comes from the burden of morality. It has a moral responsibility to stand side by side us. We don't want people to come tomorrow or states to come tomorrow and start complaining that had we knew there is genocide that is taking place, they are killing our people, and they themselves have made it very clear that we are not one of them, so they treat us as criminals. So that is why I came to South Africa.
Okay.
To deliver a memorandum and to make sure I can reopen the existing relationship personally between myself and the ANC. I joined the ANC in 1985.
Okay.
Many years ago. So I came now to deliver that. It is a check which I came to catch.
Okay, that's a good one.
For support.
Okay. Now, Doctor, you've gone to South Africa. You've been to South Africa to present this memorandum to them because you are part of the ANC. But have you done anything with the AU? Because last Friday it was the AU Day and they were celebrating all sorts. So we think that as a bigger umbrella, if you had gone to them to also present such memorandum to them that, look, guys, we need your support with what is going on, that would have gone, further than going to South Africa alone.
You tell me where the AU has done anything. You just show me one simple example. Let me give you an example. When Boko Haram is terrorizing the north of Nigeria and part of Chad and other areas, who comes to their aid? The United States. Not even the United Nations. And there is problem coming from Somalia, where we have Al-Shabaab into Kenya. Where is the African Union? When there is serious problem in South Sudan, when there is serious problem in South Sudan, you discover that there are third parties that will do a more better job than the African Union. You show me where the African Union has intervened successfully. This is a club of dictators. I can count you a handful of individuals that you could see them as people with democratic aspirations. The president of Ghana, Tanzania, even South Africa. This is a club of dictators. So we are asking the African National Congress and the government of South Africa to sit up and do something. If they can revolutionize the African Union to be exactly what Francis Ngoloma, better known as Kwame Nkrumah, alongside Julius Nyerere, Kenneth Kaunda, Jomo Kenyatta, and others envisioned before they came up with the Organization of African Unity. If they can go back to Nkrumah's words, then we would think that Africa has a continental body. For now, we don't have a continental body. We have a block of bandits, of criminals, where nobody is bold enough to criticize the other. Everybody sits at their own little corner, and when there is death stinking around Africa, we rush back to the West to ask the very West that we are accusing for having colonized us and do these things to us. It is ridiculous. So I will not waste my time. The African National Congress stands a far better position than the African Union. The African Union is a waste basket.
Wow. Okay, Frank.
Dr. Akwanga, just to end it, recently the Pope at Vatican has actually called for an urgent solution to the crisis in southern Cameroon. The U.S. embassy 2 weeks ago also, I believe, met Paul Biya and also put straight into his face that, listen, this issue needs to be resolved. Will you say that your campaign so far is beginning to gather international consensus that, yes, there's a crisis that is happening over there?
Let me inform you what I've not yet told the rest of the world.
Yeah.
The Southern Cameroon's Youth League and the Ambazonia Governing Council have reached out to the Vatican.
Okay.
To a third party. We don't talk about these things. We have already reached out to the Vatican, and that is why the Vatican is reacting as you see them doing it.
Okay.
We reach out to them, making it very clear that we want them to bring their boy, their Christian, to book, because Biya is a Catholic.
Okay.
And that they have a moral responsibility also to stand side by side the people of Ambazonia. We have done that. The documents are there.
Okay.
We are not talking about you. But we are equally informed the Vatican that we will not lay down our arms. We will sit on the negotiating table until when a negotiated settlement is reached.
Okay.
We will not drop our arms. So we have reached out to them. For the United States, I have held meetings with the Trump administration behind the scene.
Okay.
I won't talk much about that.
Yeah.
So what they are doing is okay. But what I'm saying is that it is almost getting too late. They would have done this long time ago. Because if you see the number of people who are dying, just a couple of days ago, more than 40 youths were mercilessly butchered. If you see pictures, videos of mass graves, you can't believe this is happening at this time. When it is just 1984, 1994, that everyone was saying never again after Rwanda. So what is happening to us? It's the same thing. I prefer to go to Ghana. I want to go ask the government of Ghana, what are you waiting for? You are the offspring of Kwame Nkrumah. Africa, we know when Ghana gained independence. We know the position of Ghana. We know how many of our people were carried through the shores of Ghana. Ghana also has to take its responsibility as a country because it has failed to live up to its responsibility in Africa for what it has done to the continent as a major player. So we want these countries to stand up. Look, there should be a president who can climb on the rostrum and call Biya by name, that you are a murderer. Someone who could face him and let Biya know that if you don't do something, we will stand by the Ambazonian people to make sure they are free. Okay. It is a moral responsibility. It is a moral responsibility. That is why I said to you people once that as Africans, you cannot just be mere journalists. Put yourself in our shoes and understand the plight of my people. We are suffering. We are dying. We are dying every day. And how many should die before the world starts sending threats and all whatnot? How many should die? The whole Amazonia? Or do you want us to cross east of the Mongo with this fight? When people from the Republic start dying, is that when the world will rise up to realize something serious is happening? Why do we go to church? Those who went to church this Sunday, they pray to which God? Why all this violence? Why can't we resolve issues before they get to this position? Because we have dictators in Africa who will escape from the continent, go to Switzerland. The Swiss government will not impound their airplane and send them back. They will kill our people, rush to Switzerland. The hotels will take money from Africans, their money, and keep these guys in these hotels. They will bank their money where in the West. So it is at times it's so confusing. You ask yourself, what exactly is going on? What is going on? These guys kill us in the continent, steal our resources, take it to the West, bank it there, and we are still compelled to go back to the same West to ask them to come and solve a problem which they are partly responsible for creating.
Doctor, let me ask you another question here. Now, you talked about, virtually African countries, virtually you don't see any of them in support of your vision. Now, which country per se or leader can you say maybe is in support of the fight for your independence?
I am not saying I've not seen any in support. I'm saying I've not seen any that have mastered the courage enough, the moral courage to rise up to the rostrum and call this a genocide or ethnic cleansing and say enough is enough. That we will take sides with those who are being murdered senselessly. That is what I'm saying. I will assure you that the president of Ghana, if he sees the images and is well debriefed on what is happening, I expect that he is going to say something. I expect the same thing with my comrade brother here, Cyril Ramaphosa in South Africa. I expect the African National Congress to do something. I am sure of that. And I can tell you that the government of Tanzania can do the same thing. Even that of Zambia, there are others that no matter what you do, they will stay silent. They will be mute over it. So African leaders or African rulers should start becoming leaders of their people. Because we have filled this continent with rulers, people who play the role of kings instead of republican leaders. So when they move from rulership to leadership, they will pick up the moral mantle to rise up and talk to this man who has held us bondage for more than 56 years. He's been in power for 42 years and still want to run for election. And then you have people from the Republic who have the guts to insult the American ambassador, insult the president of the United States, even though I don't side with him on the basis of a political leaning. But for somebody to do that and get away with it, something is definitely wrong. Africa needs to rise up. This is not just my issue alone. It is your issue, Frank. It is the issue of my other brother who is on the other side. We should talk about this every day, organize rallies and demonstrations to make sure that what happens to the people in Ghana is affecting the people in Ambazonia. And what happens to the people of Ambazonia becomes a responsibility for the people in Tanzania. And what is affecting the people of Tanzania who go to bed without food becomes the responsibility of the people of Malawi. That is the way we will have that type of Africa that Kwame Nkrumah dreamt of. Where we all will lead to what Dr. King said, that we are all found in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. What affects one directly affects all indirectly. That is the way we should see the world. It is simple. It's not difficult. It's not difficult.
Okay. Yes, finally, before you go, on the 23rd anniversary of the formation of the South African Southern Cameroon Defense Committee, what do you want to tell the whole world? What do you want to tell the whole world?
Well, the message I have passed and I continue to pass constantly is simple. The position we find ourselves now, the people of the former British Southern Cameroon, the people of Ambazonia, is a position we never negotiated for. We never choose to go to war. Neither did we at any time choose to even have a type of principles like the Second Amendment in the United States where every citizen has the right to carry arms. But we have been pushed to the wall, abandoned by the rest of the world, waiting for every Ambazonian to be slaughtered. Maybe when one will stay alive, then the world will come and start carrying out what we call we use in African jigsaw, that the crocodile tears. So we are informing the world that those who still have a good conscience, those who call themselves Christians, those who believe in the teachings of Buddha, those who call themselves that they are the true followers, as they claim, of the real Islamic faith, as they say to themselves, whether they are Salafis or they are Sunni or what, those who believe in faith as a whole has a moral responsibility to stand side by side with the people of Ambazonia. It is the moral responsibility which made Dr. King and Cassius Clay, the former Muhammad Ali of Leh, to say going to Vietnam to fight was unacceptable. It is that same type of teaching that brought people like Elijah Muhammad and others to kick out against Vietnam and all other types of funny wars that have been fought around the world. We should stop pretending. We should stop. The Ambazonian people know that their freedom is tied in their own hands. But we also know that we, Ambazonia, are not out of this world. We are part of the world. So it is the responsibility of the world to do something. You cannot find Ambazonians all over the world as refugees. We even go to places where they don't even give us the opportunity to stay there. I am expecting that the South African government will be able to give blanket protection to every Ambazonian found in this land until the day that Ambazonia is free. When Ambazonia becomes free, they can retract that one and every Ambazonian will have the legal right to go back home. For now, we want to be treated like an endangered species, the same treatment that the people of South Sudan had, the Eritreans had, and all other peoples who have struggled around the continent were accorded certain time. My family took care of Namibia when they were escaping from Namibia during their struggle. Former members of SWAPO. We took care of a couple of South Africa. South Africans were scattered all over the world. We did not see them as people who were different. We saw them as people of the human race who deserve protection. Without those protection, Nelson Mandela wouldn't have gone to London and come back. They wouldn't have had their forces to train in Tanzania, in Zambia and other places. Ghana would not have backed the struggle down here, alongside some other countries like Libya, even at that time. So we are asking the world to rise up and live up to their responsibility. They should do it now, or they should not shed crocodile tears later. That is the message we are passing. We will not go out there and beg the world to do something that they have to do. That is why I have made that statement. What affects one directly affects all indirectly. You see how much the war in Syria is affecting the rest of the world. You see how the chaos in Ukraine is affecting the rest of the world. So when there is a problem somewhere, if there is hardened corruption in Ghana, the neighboring states are going to have a ripple effect of it. So when you do something somewhere, it affects others somewhere. If a man goes to the market and steals innerwear, when that man is arrested, they will say, look at what this man likes doing. It becomes generalized to all men. It's not that particular individual. That is just the message Dr. King was saying. That we should not think that because the people of Ambazonia look as if they are far off, it is the problem. No, it's the problem of all of us. Why am I in South Africa? I'm here in South Africa because there's a problem in Ambazonia. That is why I came down here. And further say I've been ruffled because of that. So we can't escape from this. The reason you are talking to me now and the rest of the world is listening is because there is wailing in Ambazonia. Moms are wailing. Where they see their children who have been killed, they are not even allowed to bury with bullet-ridden bodies. Their daughters being raped in front of them. Their men being molested. So the world should rise up. Now, this is the time. Okay. There is no other time. You are playing your own part, and history will judge you for that. Okay. Because by giving us the opportunity to speak about this, we are grateful for that. That is why we say everybody has a part to play. This is the major role you are playing. You might not realize that until when freedom comes, then you will say, I played my own part, no matter how little it was. So each of us has a part to play. Let us play it and play it so well to rescue and save the people of Ambazonia.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga. Once we have time, we'll catch up with you later. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much.
Right then. Well, listeners, that was Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga of the Ambazonians. Okay, Ambazonia in
Southern Cameroon Defense Force.
Yeah, he's the commander-in-chief.
Yeah.
For them, and like he said, you cannot say that, oh, it's happening very far off, so I'm not concerned about it. Or let's just enjoy whatever we are having here. He says, whatever little that happens in a corner affects you or has a direct or indirect impact on whatever you're doing. So wherever you are, we hope that you also add your voice to the distant Frank.
And this tie in with the theme of the day when we're talking about humanity and what they should do. I think that was a very good one, and we thank him for coming on board.
He raised something that actually prompted me to think that what are the African leaders actually up to? Because he's saying that it's not like they don't know what is happening. Because everybody knows what is happening, but nobody has been bold enough to take the stand and say, hey, Bobia, what you're doing is wrong.
It's a club. It's a club. The Wufiasem. The Wufiasem. That is. But actually, I think there must be a dialogue. There must be a dialogue. But like I said, if you don't talk to some of these people, you don't know. Like what he's saying, they've met Vatican, made a passionate appeal, and you can now see Vatican talking.
This is Star Radio UK.